Hi everyone. So here in our previous class, what we have seen, we came to know what is meant by force, what are the types of forces. In that types of forces, what we came to know that all the forces has been categorized into two types of forces. One is contact force, another one is contactless force. In that contact force, we have seen what there is contact force is again divided into what is that? All those muscular forces, frictional force, tensional force, normal. So these are the things that what we have learned in our previous class. Okay. So in this class, what I am going to say about is about the contactless force and what are the force that comes under contactless force. I already told that contactless force is also called as force at a distance. What is meant by contactless force? A force being applied by one object over another object where there is no direct physical contact. Means what? Those two objects will not touch each other, but first one object will be applying some sort of force on the another object. That's what contactless force they will be saying it. Contactless force is nothing but the force applied by one object over the another object where there is no direct physical contact is called as contactless force. Our last concept was how to find the limiting force of a string or a rope. So tension is nothing but the tightness of a string. That's what we have seen. So in coming to the contactless force, first force what we will be going to learn is contactless force. In contactless force, first force what we are going to learn is magnetic force. Magnetic force. So here, what is meant by magnetic force? To know that, let's see one example. Here what we will do, we will take one swaying needle, and what we will do with that swaying needle, we will take one bar magnet, and what we will do, we will rub this swaying needle several times in one direction. Continuously we will be rubbing that swaying needle on the bar magnet. When we rub it continuously in same direction, and after some time what we can observe that this swaying needle will become magnetized. So this magnetized swaying needle. Now we want to know what is the north and south end of the swaying needle, magnetized swaying needle. Now what we will do, we will take one magnetic compass and we will find the north and south pole of the magnetized needle. So now what we will do, here we will take one bowl. Okay, we will fill the bowl with water. Okay, we will fill the bowl with water. Now what we will do, we will take foam balls. What is that? Foam balls. I think what is meant by foam balls? A simple thing, during the birthday, inside the balloon we will be placing some colored balls. That is nothing but foam balls. Now here what we will do, we will take two colors, one red and one white. So red color foam ball we will insert at the north end of the swaying needle, and the white color foam ball we will insert it into the south end of the magnetized needle. Now what we will do with that needle, we will place gently that needle into that ball which contains the water. What will happen to that needle? It will float on that water. Okay, understood up to here. Now what we will do, we will take one more swaying needle, same process, we will take the bar magnet and what we will do, we go on rubbing it in the same direction, second needle also. After some time what we can observe that the second needle also will become magnetized. Now what we will do with that, with the magnetic compass, we will find the north and south end of the swaying needle, magnetized swaying needle, and by using the foam ball, we will insert a red color foam ball on the north side and the white color foam ball on the south side. And here second needle also we will place it beside the thing that this is our first one, this is not, this is what we is. Second one also we will place it in the ball of water beside with some distance beside the first needle. Think that in what way we will be placing that all the north will come at one side and all the south will come at one other side. So what we can observe, the moment when we place two needles with a distance beside one another, what we can observe that we can observe these two needles starts moving apart, it moves away. Okay, starts moving apart. Now what we will do, whatever the second needle was there, we will reverse it and we will place it. Now what we can observe, here it becomes south, it will become north. Now what we can understand, what we can observe that whatever when we reverse it, whatever the needle was there, two needles, what we can observe that these two needles comes closer together. Okay, that's what we are observing. So here in the lower classes we have already learned the property of magnet. What is the important properties of magnet? Is that like poles. What is that? Like poles. Like poles. What will happen to like poles? Like poles ripple. Like poles ripple, and unlike poles attract. So here understood. So like poles repel, unlike poles attract each other. So that is the important property of what magnet. Like poles repel, unlike poles attract each other. That is the main thing what we are observing here. When we place the north and north at one side, then what is happening? Like poles are coming closer. That is the reason it is being apart. Okay, unlike poles repel each other. So from this, what we can say about the definition of magnetic force? Magnetic force is nothing but it's a force of attraction or repulsion. It's a force of attraction or repulsion between the poles of the magnet is called as magnetic force. Okay, so magnetic force is nothing but it's a force of attraction or repulsion between the poles of the magnet is called as magnetic force. Understood what is meant by magnetic force? Yes. So we came to know in that contactless force, we came to know what is the magnetic force. See, a magnetic force also a contactless. Here what we can observe that these two needles are not getting attached to, it is not touching each other. It is though it is apart the distance. At that distance also, what we can observe, if it is like poles, it is moving apart. If it is unlike poles, it is coming closer. So what we can say, magnetic force also comes under contactless force. Okay, understood. Let's see the next one. So magnetic force over. Next one is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force. Now what is meant by electrostatic force? So here, now what we will do to understand what is meant by electrostatic force, we will take one example. Here what we will take as an example, take one balloon, inflate it. Okay, inflate it and tie the end of the opening end of the balloon. What we will do with that balloon? You take one paper. So what we will be doing? We will take one balloon, tie the end of the balloon. Now what we will do? We will take one paper and we will rub the paper along the side of the balloon. You think that this is the balloon. With the paper it goes on rubbing it. Okay, when it goes on rubbing it, after rubbing for a few minutes, what you will do? You bring that rubber portion. You bring that rubber portion that this side you have rubbed it. This side you have rubbed it with a paper. After some time, what we can observe that when you bring this rubber portion of the balloon, think that you take one more paper, you cut the paper into small pieces, and you place that paper here. When you bring that rubber portion of that balloon near to that pieces of paper, what we can observe that when we bring that rubber portion of that balloon near to that pieces of paper, those paper gets attracted towards the balloon. So here it is getting attracted towards the balloon means what? Some sort of charge has been formed in the balloon. That charge is called as electrostatic charge. Electrostatic charge. Okay, static means what? Constant. In that region only you can find that charge. Okay, electricity. So here what we can observe that when the movement, when we rub the paper with that balloon, that side, that region of that balloon will become what? Will get a charge called as electrostatic charge. So they have got one sort of charge. When you bring that charge, that region contains electrostatic charge near to that pieces of paper, that pieces of paper will get an opposite charge. That is the reason that those papers get attracted towards the balloon. So here what we can say that about electrostatic charge, it is nothing but the force. What is that? The force applied by the charged body. The force applied by the charged body on the charged or uncharged body. On charged or uncharged body is called as electrostatic force. Understood what is meant by electrostatic force? It's the force created by applied by the charged body. On what? It may be a charged object or it may be an uncharged object. That is called as electrostatic charge. So here we came to know what is meant by electrostatic charge. Electrostatic charge means what? It's a charge. It's a force applied by the charged body. It became a charged body. The force applied by the charged body over the surface of charged or uncharged body is called as electrostatic force. Understood what is meant by electrostatic force? Okay. Next one is visualizing magnetic field. Visualizing magnetic field. How we can see the magnetic field around the bar magnet? We know that there is a field around the bar magnet. We cannot see with our naked eye, but we know very well that there is a field around the bar magnet. So how we can see that there is a field around a magnet? That is called as visualizing magnetic field. For that purpose, what we require that we require a bar magnet. Okay, we require a bar magnet. Upon the bar magnet, what we will do? We will place one white charge. There is a bar magnet. Upon that bar magnet, we will place one white charge. On that white charge, what we will do? We will sprinkle some ion fillings. We will sprinkle some ion fillings over the paper, white chart. Ion filling means a small pieces of iron. We will sprinkle on the white paper. Beyond what is it? Below the white paper, what is present? Bar magnet is present. After sprinkling some amount of ion fillings over the surface of this white chart, what we will do? We will tap the paper. Think that there is a paper. We will tap the paper. When we tap the paper, whatever the ion fillings was there, it forms a pattern on the surface of the white chart. What is that pattern? We can observe that. We observe it. See, we observe it. Some sort of pattern. Means what, like this. Some sort of pattern. So here, the ion fillings will form a pattern around the bar magnet, and we can observe a space around this space between the pattern. So that space or a region where we can feel the influence of what? Influence of a field. That is called as magnetic field. Magnetic field is nothing but it's a region. It's a region where we can feel the influence of an object over the another object is called as magnetic field. A space around the magnet where we can observe those influence and attraction on the other object is called as magnet. In that way, we have observed and visualized the magnetic field. So understood? So here magnetic field is nothing but it's a region. It's a space or region around the magnet where the influence can be detected. Influence can be detected is called as magnetic field. Understood what is meant by magnet? It's a region or a space around the bar magnet where the influence can be detected is called as magnetic field. So in that way, we have visualized the magnetic field. So next one is gravitational force. Now what is meant by gravity? We already knows it about this gravitational force. Gravity. Think that there is see here I am holding a chalk piece in my hand. So what I will do? If I release my fingers, if I release my fingers, what will happen? This chalk will fall down towards means what? There is some sort of force that is observed, that is attracting the objects towards the surface of the earth. That force is called as what? Gravitational force. Here the important point that any object, if it is close to the earth, those objects will be attracted towards the surface of the earth. What is that force that is making attracted towards the earth? That is nothing but gravitational force. Even though when you throw an object into the air, what we can observe that after reaching a certain height, what will happen to that object? Starts moving downwards. If that object is start moving downwards means what? There may be some sort of force that is pulling the object towards the earth. What is that force that is pulling the object towards the earth? That is nothing but gravitational force. Here the important point. The gravitational force is not that gravitational force is present between the earth and the object. What we are seeing that whatever the object it is near to the earth's surface, it is pulled towards the surface of the earth. So here what we may think that gravitational force will be present between the earth and the object. It is wrong. Gravitational force is not present only between the earth and the object, gravitational force will be present between any object which has mass. Understood what is meant by gravitational force? It's a force of attraction between any object which has mass in the universe is called as gravitational force. Gravitational force is not that it is present only between the earth and the object. Gravitational force is nothing but it's a force of attraction between any object which has mass. For example, if I keep the chalk piece and duster here, so these two are object, it has mass in it. So what we can say that there is a force of attraction between the object which has mass. That force of attraction is called as gravitational force. Now you will get one doubt. If there is a force of attraction, then these two objects should attract each other. But we are not observing. But what we can observe here, if I remove my hand here, what will happen? These two objects attract towards the earth. Means what? What we can say that, so whatever you are saying is, whatever I am saying is wrong. What I told, force of attraction will be present between any object which has mass. But what we are observing here, when I place these two objects are not getting attracted towards each other. But when I remove my hand, these two objects will be attracted towards the earth. Now here comes the another important point. If you compare the mass of the size of the object, the mass of the object will be very less comparing with the mass of the earth. Mass of the earth is very huge. So the force of attraction will be very huge. Understanding? Since the mass of the earth is very huge, comparing with the mass of this object is very small object, tiny objects. Comparing with the mass of the earth. So the force of attraction between the earth and this object will be very large comparing with this force of attraction between these objects. That is the reason whatever the object is very near to the earth's surface, it gets attracted towards the earth. Understood? So what we can understand about gravitational force is nothing but it's a force of attraction between the objects of any mass in the universe is called as gravitational force. Understood what is meant by gravitational force? So we came to know what are the types of forces which is present under contactless force. What are the forces we have learned today? We came to know that what is that? Magnetic force, electrostatic force, gravitational force, all these forces comes under what? Contactless force. Muscular force, frictional force, normal force, tension, all these comes under contact force. Understood? What are the force comes under contact force? What are the force comes under contactless force? Yes? Okay. Now comes our net force. Net force. What is meant by net force? Here net means total number of forces acting on an object. See here, I have kept the duster on my hand. Is there any forces acting on this object? No. The object is not moving. Even though the object is not moving, is there any forces acting on this object? As I told, always a gravitational force will be acting downward direction. Since I have supported this object with my hand, as I said, what is that supporting force which acts opposite to the gravitational force? It's a normal force. So if the object is at rest, what are the forces acting on the object? One is downward direction is gravitational force, one is upward direction is what? Normal force. Since these two forces are equal and opposite, the object is at rest. If the gravitational force is more than the net force, what will happen? The objects try to move down. Understood? Since the gravitational force and the normal force are equal and opposite, that is the reason object is at rest. Understood? If the object is at rest, then also gravitation, there will be some forces acting on the object. For example, if you think that two objects are here, A object and B object. If I ask what are the number of forces acting on the object, as I think that these two objects are on surface, what are the forces acting on A object? A object has some mass. So here what is the force acting downwards? Gravitational force. Since it is A object is placed on that surface, a supporting force will be present. What is that? Upward direction, normal force. Two forces are acting on A object. One is gravitational force, another force is what? Normal force. One when I ask what are the forces acting on object B? You know that. Downward direction, gravitational force. Upward direction, there will be two normal forces. If you observe that, B is placed on what? A. A will act as a surface. So one normal force of what? A object. one more force will be present. That A object is placed on a surface. If that surface is not there, where the A object is placed? So one more normal force will be acting upward. That is what? Surface of the normal. Normal force due to that surface. Understood everyone? So here what is meant by net force? Net force is nothing but total number of forces acting on an object. For example, think that there is a bench or a desk here. You are trying to push the desk or a bench, table. That table is not moving. Okay. Think that you are applying a force F1 and you are trying to push it. The table is not moving. Now what you will do? You will ask your friend to help you. Your friend also will come to you, near to you, and you two members will be pushing the bench. Now the bench or the table started to move. So here what is happening? Forces are increasing. Now here important point is nothing but what is the net force applied here? Total number of forces. F1 is the force applied by you. Think that F2 is the force applied by your friend. If the applied force of one object is in the same direction of the force applied by the another object, then the net force is nothing but sum of the forces. Understood? When we do the sum of the forces, think that the applied force of one object is in the same direction of the applied force of the another object, then the net force will be equal to what? Sum of the forces. We will add those forces. Means what? F1 plus F2. Okay. Now what you will do? Same example. You are standing on one side of the bench, table, and you are pushing the bench. Your friend will do? Your friend will go to the opposite end of the table and he will be pushing the table in opposite direction. Means what? If you are applying a force left to right, your friend is applying a force from right to left. Does the table will move? Table will not move. So then what will be the total force, net force? Net force will be what? Think that whatever the force you are applying is greater than F2. If the applied force of an object is in the opposite direction of the applied force of another object, then what will be the net force? Net force will be the difference of the forces. Difference of the forces. What you will do if F1 is greater than F2? You will write F1 minus F2. Understood? When we will take sum of the force, when we will take difference of the forces. If the applied force of an object is in the same direction of the applied force of another object, then we will do what? Sum of the forces. If the applied force of an object is in the opposite direction of the applied force of another object, then we will take the difference of the forces. Understood? Okay. Think that you are taken one rubber band. You have placed a rubber band on these two fingers. You try to stretch it. When you try to stretch it, we can observe some sort of force is pulling those fingers towards each other. Okay. Think that you have applied a force of F. What you will do? You will take one more rubber band to that. You place it in the same place. You try to push it. Push it. What we can observe? Stretch it. What we can observe that now this time we have to apply more force to stretch it. Think that two rubber band is what? Second force to F. So what will be the net force? F net. F net equal to what? Since we are applying the same direction, F plus F, 2F units of force is applied. Understood? What is my net force? Net force is nothing but total number of forces acting on an object. Okay. Now here, what is the unit for force? The lower class that you have learned. The unit, force unit is what? Force unit is Newton. Okay. When you are dealing with force, we have to consider both magnitude and the direction of force. Magnitude means what? Amount of force. Dash means what? In which direction we are applying the force. When we are dealing with the concept of force, we have to consider both magnitude and the direction. And we will be representing with a arrow mark in which direction we are applying the force. Understood what is meant by net force? So in today's class, what we have learned, we have learned the different types of forces present under what? Contactless force, and we came to know what is meant by net force. I think everyone has understood my today's concept. Who has missed my previous class part 1, I have already uploaded that concept as a video in the YouTube. You can search in the YouTube channel. Okay. If you go to the playlist in the YouTube, if you write in my channel, if you go to the playlist, these what are the concepts I have told. Yeah, there is a playlist called as Force. In that you can find my videos. I hope everyone has understood. Those who have liked my video, please do share with your friends. Okay, and those who are not, and subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe it, and there will be a bell icon here to it, you click that bell icon such that whenever I upload a video, new video, you will get a notification that I have uploaded a video. You can see that video in the YouTube. Understood everyone? Have a good day. Thank you.